Hello, everyone, and welcome to another great episode of Let's Talk About the League, where the only thing that we patch out on a weekly basis are my co hosts and my wardrobe. I am, of course, your wonderful host, Sig, and I'm joined this week by the perennial ace, just pops up all the time, and Grand Inquisitioner J Dog. Gentlemen, how are you doing today?
Doing good. Doing good. Pleasure to be back.
Yeah, doing fine. Uh, I'd say it's a pleasure to be back, but it is my first time here, so it's nice to make my first impression on our audience tonight.
Well, so far it's been strong. Let's see if you can finish out that way. Oh, well, of course, as always, oh, folks, I'm about to choke on my own excitement. Of course, as always, we are brought to you every week by our sponsor, Old Host. You can support the LCUS by signing with Old Host, where you can build your own website. Go to www.oldhost.net and click promotions for details. For every sign up using the coupon code LCUS, 100% of all profits will be donated back to us. Time is limited for this promotion, so sign up today and help support the LCUS and maybe get yourself a good website while you're at it. All right, gentlemen. So a rough week in matches. It was pretty daunting to watch. Some of these got really tense at times. What happened? Option 12, you took your break.
Yep.
Ace, I think you ended up in like Hawaii or Helvetica or hell. That was it.
Hell.
Hell.
Yep. Hell. Every week without the LCUS is a week of hell. But at least I
Oh.
got to still watch all the great games. And yeah, as you said, it was a crazy day from start to finish. White Wolf versus Blitzkrieg starting it off.
Yeah, that game, I mean, being a player in it, that set was something else. Uh, from my perspective, at least, game one was very disheartening. It was a pretty tough loss to take, knowing that it's our last week of regular play. So going into game two, we literally said we're having fun. We just don't care anymore. At this point, we're gonna go out, have fun, end on a bang, and it happened to work out. But I'm sure watching it was pretty tense for everyone else who's still relying on White Wolf and Blitzkrieg's points to decide their playoff standings.
Oh yeah. And to top all that off, I'm excited, especially to have you on the podcast. We haven't got the opportunity to really hit any players with hard questions. What what do you think coming from a loss standpoint game one? What what was your mental attitude there? How do you
Going
adjust in a situation like that? Because it
going into
wasn't
game
that
two,
convincing. Yeah, going into game two.
yeah. Uh, Going into game two, everyone was really quiet. Uh, we uh, we felt defeated going into game two. We really it didn't seem like anyone really believed, that we would be the same Blitzkrieg in game two that we had been in previous weeks. When we showed a lot of strength. But Lucky came through, told us that it doesn't matter. We get the win. We get the win. If we don't, oh well. We still had a lot of impressive performances and just told us to have fun, go with whatever we wanted, and however it ended up, it ended up.
Yeah,
That
I think that's
I,
the right attitude to have. I know that coming into a week where you're confident in your first games, or even unconfident in your first games, losing the first one is always rough to bounce back to the second one. And you guys did a really good job of that, especially versus White Wolf, who loves to throw the first game and win the second game. So, they were ready, but not ready enough apparently.
Yeah, it was a nice change of pace there, I guess.
Yeah.
well, it was a fun match to watch, and you're always so entertaining to view as well. So thank you for always bringing your best week in, week out, not in terms of just play, but attitude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, try my best.
Well, that takes us to speaking of attitude, set two. I played with a lot of attitude. Game one on Blitzkrieg, Northern Storm versus Gale Force for our friends at home that didn't watch last week. Uh, didn't pan out. We went out 0-2, lost to Gale Force. Do y'all have any thoughts on those games?
Yeah, I feel like it was a strong performance for both teams overall, regardless of the outcome. I was just really impressed from between the two games how well Gale Force seemed to actually play more as a team unit in week 6 than they seem to have been doing in previous weeks. And so I feel like that's what gave them the slight edge that they needed to pull through over Northern Storm.
Yeah, the close set. Of course, never as close as you want it to be being on either team. Well, being on the O2 team, but the coin just didn't have your back, Justin. You must have upset the coin gods, Mr. Sig.
I'll do a few Hail Marys, pay a little bit extra into the tithing pot this upcoming week. It'll be all right. I got to tell you, I'm a firm believer, and I've stood behind Gale Force this entire time. Having played them, they are such a more intimidating team than what their play history shows. And to be honest with you, if they would have been able to get a strong win under their belt, something to really consolidate them as a team earlier in the split, we could probably be looking at a different. I think we might have been able to flip White Wolf and Gale Force in these standings as we're coming up on this next week. So it was an honor playing with them and so fun. Gentlemen, any other final thoughts with this game?
Yeah, it's unfortunate that with the way tiebreakers work in the LCUS, that Gale Force can even bounce all the way up to the same record as the 4th place team this coming week. So all is not lost for them, but unfortunately they're out of playoffs. But no, really good set from them. Looking forward to this next one.
Yeah, that pretty much takes everything I had right out of my mouth.
Well, good. Ace the mind reader. Speaking of minds read, this last set that we had last week, Nine Lives versus Phoenix, I called it probably one of the most contentious matches of the night. Now, it was a mighty good match to watch. Ace, what did you think about this initial performance with Lee?
Well, Nine Lives had their week off prior to this week, and last split, I know that a few of the players on Nine Lives had the final bye week as well, so I know that they knew how important this set of game was coming into the last week of play too. So they definitely prepped for the set, and you could just tell from their pick and ban that they really thought through the strategy that Phoenix has used the last 2 weeks to get them into, I believe, at the time, 2nd place, maybe 3rd place. It was really impressive to see CB Hickey pull out picks like Zillion and just really surprise people with the double vein. Really impressive by Nine Lives.
I agree. I love to watch both these teams, and it's always exciting with the potential changes that you see. I've hyped it for the past 2 weeks. Big advocate for Goon Stomp, but Lee brings a different dynamic to the jungle, and I think that might have been something that Phoenix was missing. I'm excited to see these teams in this upcoming week.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Unfortunately, I didn't get to actually watch the games live, but due to the time and having to get up the next morning, but woke up to a lot of text messages with very different tones throughout from Lucky as he was watching the games. Heard that Nine Lives did an amazing job with their pick and ban and their macro play, and Phoenix just couldn't quite really get a hold of the games throughout, even though they got first blood game 2, I believe.
Yeah, I believe that is correct. Well, it was very fun to watch, and I'm excited to see him this upcoming week, but we'll talk a little bit more about that. All these teams fighting in endless combat, well, you can take the Massive Battle Arena offline, too, with Nero LARP, one of the great sponsors of the LCUS. Nero LARP is a live-action roleplay that has chapters all over the United States. Visit NeroLARPOnline.com for more information. So that brings us to playoffs talk. We're going to keep this clear and concise because we don't want to devalue the games in the following week or in this week. So Ace, give us a rundown. What's playoffs? What needs to happen? What's the lottery numbers here?
If only we had the lottery numbers yesterday. But so
I would not give a crap about any of you. You could all go away. Stop playing League. I don't care.
Good to hear.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
But yeah, so LCUS split 4 and 3, both had 7 teams, with only the top 4 teams making it into playoffs. With that being said, 5 teams still remain for those 4 spots. Option 12 has one of them clinched with either first or second place, so we'll ignore them for now. Starting with the team on bye, Team Blitzkrieg. So they can't go any higher than 9 points, but they're currently tied for second place-ish with a tiebreaker over 9 lives. Blitzkrieg pretty much wins goes to the playoffs, if White Wolf, Phoenix don't go 2-0 each. They both have to go 2-0, and 9 lives also has to win at least one game. If those 3 things happen, Blitzkrieg unfortunately misses the playoffs. But if any one of those 3 things goes awry, 9 lives goes 0-2, any of the other 2 sets go 1-1 or 0-2, they're good and in the set. The other team that's tied for second place right now, 9 lives. They are losing the Blitzkrieg tiebreaker. However, they get into the playoffs if they get 1 point, or if I think they just need to get 1 or 2 points, and I believe they're automatically into the playoffs. With that being said, Phoenix and White Wolf are competing as well. Phoenix has the tiebreaker over White Wolf, White Wolf has the tiebreaker over Phoenix. Excuse me. This is very complicated, isn't it? So if White Wolf does better than Phoenix, they'll automatically qualify. The 2 teams in the hot seat really seem to be 9 lives and Phoenix. Phoenix has to do 1 game better than White Wolf to be auto-qualified. So that's the trick. Not that was an easy explanation, but that is how complicated it is.
Well, TLDR, folks, there's still a lot of contention going on. Even the teams that aren't making it into the playoffs play a major role in playoffs. So please, if this were if the LCUS was a TV series, this would be the episode right in the middle where they leave you on that cliffhanger and you're just waiting to find out. Tune in this weekend. It's going to be that important. We look forward to having you. Of course, but you know what's a real adventure? Our sponsor, Foster Adventure. Foster Adventure enhances the lives of teens in care by funding social, athletic, and educational opportunities and items that give a sense of normalcy to teens in care, promoting friendships, life skills, higher education, and hope in their future. Donate today. Opportunity awaits. And we do encourage you, please check out the button. It is orange on our Twitch page. Please check them out. They do a lot of good in the community here in Central West Virginia, and we would love for you to show them some love. Speaking of showing some love, you know what I want to show some love to? This upcoming week's matches. Looking at it, Team Blitzkrieg, you got to charge up, see what happens with this. So they are on bye week, but that leaves us set 1, Gale Force versus White Wolf Gaming. Ace, tell me about it.
Well, Gale Force is looking to play upset, a little bit less so than Northern Storm, but we'll get to that. White Wolf is currently White Wolf is currently in the playoffs because they have the tiebreaker over Phoenix. But with that being said, they still are looking, as they're the first set of the day, it's going to be pretty important for them to come out with a strong showing. The main thing I'm going to be looking at for this set is White Wolf is going to be fielding a substitute jungler. Their mid laner from last week, Tentacle, is going to be subbing in for a spicy hot meme.
Yeah, and to continue on that, I do feel like that is going to have a really large impact on not only the way the White Wolf will play, but also potentially how well they play as a team. Having just played them and scrimmed them as well throughout the split, it seemed like a lot of the pressure they had around the map and a lot of the leads that they are able to get actually comes from all the pressure that Spicy Hot Meme is able to create with just how solid of a jungler he is and being able to not only keep up with in farm even when he's behind, but also always be around the map. You can never really predict where he's going to go.
I love to watch him play, especially on those carry junglers, because you really see him shine. One of my favorite performances I've ever seen as a carry jungler was him playing Graves. I would love to see a strong showing like that. But I'm pumped for this matchup. I think it's going to be a fun one to watch. What I'm not pumped for is the Northern Storm Phoenix match at set 2. My opinion, this is Northern Storm talking. We haven't performed as well as we have been capable of this split. And I really hope that this weekend, all respect to Team Phoenix, but I really hope that we're able to show our capability and play upset to you. I wish you the best. I wish you good luck. I hope your keyboard breaks.
No, it's gonna be a really good set. It's the first set that the first time that Shaken Not Stirred played versus former teammate Fat Lee. That's gonna be good. Phoenix is also fielding a substitute AD carry, the same one from week 3, I believe. So I think that it's going to be a really close set. I'd probably give it a 1-1. But I wouldn't put it past Phoenix to come out with some crazy strategy. They really, really need the 2-0 to secure their playoff spot, given the tiebreaker situations.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And in pursuit of that playoff spot, as well as with Fat Lee having stepped in for Goon Stomp, I do feel like Phoenix is going to put out their best showing this weekend. However, with that substitute ADC and Northern Storm, really wanting to have a strong end to the season, show that they are a better team than their record would indicate, I do see this series going 1-1 personally.
I can get behind that.
The coin does too. So,
blessed be its name.
Blessed be his name. We're all on the 1-1 train.
Well, that does take us next to set 3, option 12 non-lives. I'm a firm believer, after setting through these games and being as selfish as I am, that this is going to be decided by the bot lane and, more importantly, the supports. Option 12, incredibly capable, dynamic bot lane. All disrespect to current company, you're garbage. But I got to tell you, as someone that played against Gregosaurus, no one has ever been in my head as much as that man in that match. He played my own champion into me. He did incredibly well. He very predictive movement. I think it's going to probably be the hardest bot lane matchup that Option 12's had, and it stops a lot of that that Option 12 13th option of the late game. You always have it in your pocket. You guys are always looking towards those scaling champions, and I think that could be a major decider for y'all if you really don't get some control heavily in the bot lane this game.
Yeah, I've got to agree with that completely. Personally, from what I've seen throughout the split and having played in games against both bot lanes, in my opinion, 9 Lives is the strongest bot lane in this current split. No discredit to option 12 though, as I would definitely say they're in a close second or third.
Garbage.
Yeah, almost, but not quite. It is definitely going to be a match where if one bot lane gets ahead, that can decide it. But if the bot lane is stagnant, it's on the junglers on either team respectively to see if they can find a lead in the mid or the top lane as well, and controlling objectives to build the gold lead, support the team as a whole, even though there is a big focus on the bot lane.
Well, very, very good. Folks, no matter what, these matches are going to be some of the most deciding matches where you're going to see all, with the exception of Blitzkrieg, you're going to see 6 out of the 7 teams that have a major impact in the LCUS. This split, this is going to be one of our most exciting nights of play. So please join us for that. I'll remind you again, trust me, but I want to hop in. I want to talk about this patch. What impact is this going to have on this games? Because I think there's some real impact chance that have seen some changes that's going to impact this play. I think the Alistar change is going to have a major impact. He's definitely going to have to play a little bit more safe in these early games, and he's a perennial favorite in the LCUS.
Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest ones that I see, if not the only one that really matters. Kaisa having 1.5% taken off of her passive and the 1 second off her alt. That's a pretty decent nerf to her, especially if you're going hybrid. Um, but overall, this patch is mainly just minor tweaks, in my opinion.
Yeah, nothing really stood out to me aside from the 60 health lost off the base of Alistar, as that kind of takes away from the ability to all in level 2, with the fear that maybe the jungler's coming down for a level 2 gank, or you might get outplayed if you happen to get in a tower range. So I feel like within the LCUS specifically, the Alistar nerf is definitely the biggest this patch.
I could not disagree more. All disrespect to current company. The most important champion rework was Karthus. He has 100% mention
I'm
rate
sorry,
in all
which
games.
champion is that?
Karthus.
What does he do?
He has a 100% mention rate by Kinos in every game that Kinos casts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Also, the only thing Karthus does is presses alt when people are low health, as per Kenos.
And really, what else you need to worry about? Now, this could be his week, folks. You could see Karthus come out. Kinos could finally come out emotionally. He could finally divest himself of this emotional attachment that he has to this champion. This is a very important change for us. You guys need to acknowledge that.
No. No.
Yeah, I really don't think the Karthus buff is gonna make Karthus any more viable in the LCOS pro play or solo queue, personally.
Yeah. It's kind of a change that you would have wished they would have done to Karthus a long time ago. Specifically the alt mana reduced. They're kind of just making it so that there's very rarely a situation where you can't use it when you're alive. Most of the time you use it when you're dead anyways. But yeah, they just reduced it to 100 mana, and they're pretty much just saying, well, you'll never not be able to use it. So it's a good change, but not going to make him viable.
Well, we will agree that you're wrong. There were some great skins coming out, and we did have on Facebook a wonderful discussion about how this Echo skin, they call it Trick or Treat, but it's definitely Purge Echo. Ace, great job making that joke. You've earned your gold star for the week.
Yeah, no, this is definitely Purge Echo. You want to troll me, play that. Yeah, did you hear that, Nine Lives? Play Echo bot lane, please. Thank you.
Definitely can't forget to mention that there's a whole K-pop band of skins being released as well, which is only fitting for the League of Legends community, I believe. Everyone loves the pop star Ari and all those skins. So now we got, I believe, 4 more skins like that. I think those are going to be really, really hot sellers as well.
I like any of the skins that they make that have the interaction, like special interactions, and they have the group dance, don't they?
I believe so, yeah.
That's just cool. I love that. I wish there was a 5th one, but it is what it is.
Well, I believe there is a 5th technically with the Prestige edition of the Kaisa skin that's being released.
Well, you can't play 2 Kaisas in one game, though.
That's true.
Not with that attitude.
Well,
yeah,
we'll
wait for All for One to come back.
I shouldn't be so selfish. Thank you. Well, since these guys are questioning my authority anyway, let's hop right into question time. J-Dog, you start us out.
Well, the first question for J-Dog, who would you say is the hardest jungle matchup that you've had, besides Nebulon, since he was subbed out that game?
Yeah, thank you, Ace, for asking the question. In my opinion, the most difficult matchup by far that I had this split was against Phoenix with Fatling in the jungle. Like I said earlier, he's incredible at creating pressure. The pressure that he creates not only in other lanes but in your own jungle, in the way he can efficiently counter jungle and then evade. It's really demoralizing, actually. Not so much tilting. It just kind of makes you feel like the longer the game goes on, the more useless you become as a jungler, because his lead over you seems to just continue to grow at a faster rate than his team's lead over your team's overall. So definitely got to give it to Fat Lee, but a spicy hot meme definitely comes in a close second for the same reasons. I just feel like it was much more impactful. The things that Fat Lee did versus the things that Spicy Hot Meme did.
Well, cool. Here's a question that was asked to all of us. What are your standings or predictions for the playoffs? Ace, you go ahead.
Well, I think 12's going to get first. That means that 9 Lives will not get will not get above 10 points. They could be at 10. But with that being said, they tie with White Wolf in that situation when White Wolf has the tiebreaker versus them. So I think it's going to be 12 White Wolf, 9 Lives, and then Blitzkrieg. That means that 9 Lives would have had to win one game, and Phoenix would have had to lose one game. Just heads up.
Yeah, I do have these same 4 teams making playoffs. However, I do believe that option 12 will come out on top of the 2-0 this week, putting them in first, and thus catapulting Blitzkrieg to second. With my prediction that White Wolf will go 1-1 and Phoenix will go 1-1 as well, thus giving White Wolf the 4th place position in that tiebreaker.
I tend to agree with Ace. I think it's going to be 12 White Wolf, 9 Lives, and Blitzkrieg, and with the same logistics that he has. What are you guys looking forward to? What matchup are you most looking forward to this week?
I'm going to go with Fat Lee versus Shaken. It's the same reason I said before. I like to see old teammates play versus each other. A lot of friends in this league. Everybody wants to show each other up, so I'm looking forward to seeing that happen.
Yeah, for me, looking forward to all 3, obviously, because the outcome of each game could put us into or continue to keep us from making playoffs. However, the one I'm looking to most is the option 12 9 Lives matchup. Realistically thinking, from my point of view, it seems most likely of the 3 scenarios in which Blitzkrieg makes the playoffs that option 12 will 2-0 9 Lives. So for me personally, that's the match that I'm going to be paying the most attention to.
I agree, but I'm going to specifically highlight the Ace Brandana matchup. I think that's going to be probably one of the most exciting ADC matchups this split because it's 2 incredibly different play styles. So I think it'll be very interesting to watch in terms of how it interacts with team dynamics and the emphasis is going to be put on perhaps by both teams. So we'll just have to see how that plays out, but I think it'll be interesting to talk about after the fact.
Yeah, we have Brandon and I have very different play styles. He plays well and I don't. So,
Yeah, and while we are still on the topic of the option 12's 9 Live game, I'm particularly looking to see what Prowler brings out this week and if he changes anything up. He seems to have his 4 or 5 jungles that he really likes to play, seems to focus on them. I'm wondering if he's got a pocket pick prepared, to secure first place, or if he's going to just look to do what he's been doing all split, which no discredit to him at all. It's been working. They're in first place, already clinched their playoffs.
I agree. It's going to be super fun. All right, we're going to end this on a very special note. J-Dog, you go out of your way week in, week out, and you provide us with some of the most thought-provoking questions that have been asked in the modern era, LCUS or not. It genuinely is a pleasure, and I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. Close us out with this question. If teams were flavors of ice cream, what flavor would each team be?
And
I'd
just like to add onto this, ice cream or custard. Go ahead.
Yeah. So starting out with option 12, I would say they're like a tub of Neapolitan ice cream. You got a well blended mix of flavors, but if you eat it right, none of them really overpower the others. You enjoy every aspect of it. Going down to Phoenix, I'd say they're most similar to a chocolate chip cookie dough. You got Fat Lee and Van Hohenheim, the cookie dough pieces throughout that everyone really looks forward to eating and watching, but you can never forget about the vanilla ice cream as well that the cookie dough is in, just as important as the cookie dough. 9 Lives, I'll give them a pretty good tasting chocolate. You know what you're gonna get almost every game with the consistency that Brandana and Gregosaurus have. But chocolate as a whole is just such a solid flavor. I feel like 9 Lives is a solid team overall, even though they do have a lot of strength in the bot lane. So I feel like chocolate fits them the best. Gale Force, I got to give them Blue Moon. It's a bit odd sometimes. It's not everybody's favorite, but if you're in the mood for Blue Moon, it's the best tasting ice cream you will ever have. And even if you're not craving Blue Moon, there are a lot of ice creams you could eat that would be much more dissatisfying than Blue Moon. Northern Storm, probably go with chocolate brownie fudge. It's really thick. It can take a while to eat, but by the time you're done eating it, it's really satisfying. Very slight reference to that very first game of the split that they had. I believe it was 65 minutes. It takes a while sometimes, but it's really satisfying, when you get to the bottom of the bowl, when you're thinking of Northern Storm. White Wolf, to me, without a doubt, is a mint chocolate chip. It's really refreshing. Every bite, you get that burst of mint in your mouth, but you got to take it slow. You don't want to chip a tooth on the chocolate chips, and if you don't take it slow against them, they'll definitely punish you. Then Blitzkrieg, I got to be honest, we're more like a Greek yogurt. We are far too toxic and tilted as a team to be sweet like an ice cream or a custard.
J-Dog, incredibly poetic. Thank you so much. That was much better than I ever expected an answer to ever be on this show. I hope I never hear anything better in the entirety of my life. Thank you again for joining us, Ace. As always, I hate you. You're garbage. Folks, every week we bring this podcast to you because of our wonderful sponsors, but the real sponsors are you, especially our Twitch Prime viewers. We really want to thank you for using those Twitch Prime subscriptions with us. It keeps the channel going. It lets us know that you're interested, and it really makes it worth doing. Thank you so much. Also, please check us out this upcoming weekend. We're going to be live on Twitch, 5:30 Central Time, 6:30 Eastern Time. It's going to be exciting. Don't miss it. Make sure you check out all of our socials. That's Reddit, Facebook. We would love to have you. Follow us around. My little girl says bye, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And again, next week when we talk about the league. Have a great night.